In this video, I'm going to show you what I believe to be an authentic letter from the Secret Service shooter, right? The guy that shot the assassin, explaining why he didn't shoot before this guy was able to kill people, okay? Then we're going to talk about the Secret Service agents, and I'm going to show you the most insane videos I could find across the entire social media platform, all of them combined. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So my name is Sam, and I'm going to walk you through some very disturbing clips I've been finding today, guys. It's hard for hardworking Americans to be able to find all this information. I understand that. I took it upon myself to spend hours going through different social media platforms to bring you the most updated news, folks, because I understand it's easier to get it all in one place than having it bounce around. So let's start with Twitter. Earlier today, I put out a video of what sounded like to me a woman screaming at the shooter. She was screaming at the shooter, but some people pointed out that maybe she was calling for her husband. I don't know, but here is that clip.
Get over here!
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
After listening to it a few more times, I will concede it does sound like Ross, but to me it also sounds like crooks, right? So I'm not sure who she was yelling at, but it was obvious they saw the shooter and they were trying to warn people, and they actually got him to look, to turn their way. I believe those people were fearless, okay? God bless those fearless Americans that weren't just going to let our president be assassinated in front of them without fighting. Because I don't think there is a person living right now that thinks that this was not intentional. I have found information about some of the Secret Service agents, well, one in particular, and it's very disturbing, folks. Now, what I'm going to show you at this moment is how the progressive left is dealing with it. Here we go.
Now you gave him what he wanted more than anything in the world, attention. We're losing this election.
You're already losing this election, sweetie. Now, here is a TikToker who should actually be the poster girl for the Democrats.
I just found out about this. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Ah!
I just really hope that the shooter is white. I hope that the shooter is white. Because even if the shooter is white and some hyper leftist with manifestos and all kinds of stuff, at least they're white.
Now this next clip is going to get you, folks. I'm going to forewarn you. I found this on Twitter, but this is obviously off of her personal TikTok page. Here we go.
That shit was more staged than a Tyler Perry production of Medea Runs for President. I lived in Harlem long enough to know that gunshots do not sound like making popcorn on the stove. Pop, pop, pop. Where'd the blood come from? So in theater, in movies, they have what's called blood pellets. They even, people use them in Halloween. It's basically like a pellet of fake blood that's in your mouth, and when you crush it, the blood comes out. To be frank, Small Hands Trump would not respond by raising his fist in the air triumphantly were an actual attempt made on his life. This was, I believe, done to try to show his strength counter to Biden's fragility. Ba-dum-bum.
Like this. And it leaves many wondering, are those gunshots or are those fireworks? We met up with Sergeant John Perrine of State Police to use a simulation round, more or less a blank that only makes a sound. But when you compare the sounds of that and a firework, they sound the same. So how do you tell the difference? It's difficult.
It's absolutely hard, and as we close in on the 4th of July, we're going to hear a lot of sounds that sound similar to gunshots. And so our advice is if you hear something that sounds like gunshots, then assume it is gunshots.
So when do you take
So you heard it there, folks. It was all staged. No worries. Donald was not hit with a bullet. That was a blood packet because, you know, she's from Harlem. Yeah, with her fake nails, laying on her little Gucci couch in her little bougie neighborhood, little bougie white neighborhood, I guarantee it. With her little pool behind her, telling the huddled masses what to believe. Here's the shame. How many millions of people do you know that are going to listen to someone like her and take their word for it? Okay, so now it is time to jump into the Secret Service stuff I promised you guys in the beginning. But before I do, please consider supporting our channel. We were demonetized for telling the truth. But we're going on a mission trip to Maui to support the fire victims, folks. It would make all the difference in the world if everybody sends $1. That is $51,000 to pass out to fire victims. Please pray about it and see what you can do to help these folks. They're Americans too. Now, this video is going to make you cry. It's going to make you laugh. But what you're going to see are these women were not able to do this job.
Was to jump in front and take a bullet for Trump, but instead she cowered behind him. Alex, what is going on with these Secret Service agents? Alex, as you can see, it was quick thinking, protecting their president. What has gone wrong in the agency since then?
Well, you said it already. When they smothered Trump, they said, what do we do? So they didn't even know the protocol for trying to save the president. And then, like you showed the clip.
So here it is. This letter is supposedly by the Secret Service agent that shot the assassin, okay? Because he did kill somebody, so that is what he is. Now, it says, I was told to stand down. Like, I was told, don't take the shot. I dug a little deeper. Immediately, news outlets were like, this is misinformation. We don't even have anybody by this name. Is that true? I don't know. But what it can tell you is that BlackRock has finally come out with a statement. So for the ones of you catching up, Thomas Matthew Crooks was in a BlackRock commercial in 2022 when he was still in high school. Okay, this is what they said. He was an unpaid actor in a commercial that they did about teacher retirements. Since the shooting, they have taken it down, being thoughtful, and that they do not agree with any political violence, even though, if you know anything about BlackRock, they are the richest company in the entire world. They were involved with what was going on in Lahaina after the fires. In fact, Eric West worked for one of their realty companies that comes under the umbrella of BlackRock, and they threatened him for doing his videos about the truth of the DEW weapon being used in Lahaina. So they fired him. Like, he lost his job over that nonsense. It's all BlackRock. But let me tell you something. They deal with China, Taiwan. They fund every war in the entire world. I'm just saying. Moving on. Immediately, within the first day, the FBI said, this is a lone shooter. We can't get into his phone, and we only spent a few minutes in his house, but we know he was a lone shooter. You've got people on TikTok going, he was Republican. He was a registered Republican. Really? Because both mommy and daddy were Democrats. I said the other day, maybe his mom and dad were Republicans, and that's why I checked Republican. Mom and dad were upper middle class Democrats living in like a swanky neighborhood, making over $300,000 a year. Daddy's a psychologist. Huh. So Thomas lived with mommy and daddy till immediately after high school when they had a huge fight that nobody's talking about. He moved in with grandma and grandpa, lived there until they caught him doing drugs and they kicked him out. Out of curiosity, did daddy prescribe a whole lot of maybe Adderall to this poor boy when he was a kid? Because guys, look, one, I don't think he was the only shooter or actually the primary shooter. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I think he was set up. I think somebody, maybe a progressive school teacher, twisted. I mean, he had no friends. You know how easy it would be to twist somebody's mind like that? Look how many Americans are claiming this was not even an actual assassination attempt. I mean, is it that far-fetched to think that maybe somebody brainwashed this kid? He was maybe once a free thinker, a Republican, and then maybe mom and dad had doped him his whole life with all these drugs they give these babies now. But my biggest question is, if this child was not living with daddy, who the AR style rifle, which means it could be just a hunting rifle, folks, not even that style, was registered to dad, Matthew Crooks. How did Thomas get it? He wasn't living with mommy and daddy. He wasn't living with grandma and grandpa. How did he get daddy's gun? Why is nobody talking about that? If that gun had been used to shoot and kill my husband or my loved one, it'd be mommy and daddy who would be in civil court with me right now. Adderall is one chemical composition different than methamphetamine. Adderall is an amphetamine. Methamphetamine is what people cook and sell in the streets. Now, we have so much more to talk about, folks. And folks, then we have to talk about the Democrats calling for violent acts against conservatives, Republicans, and Donald Trump. Here we go.
Punch. Well, you have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I think I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
Well, this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive?
Yeah, and what's worse is he looked really cool when it happened. What do you mean he looked cool when it happened? He unfortunately looked very cool when it happened. How do you look cool getting shot at? Well, like what did he do? Pop right back up with blood streaming down his face, pumping a fist in the air, shouting USA, USA, USA until a crowd of thousands joined in? That's exactly what he did. Oh. Yeah.
And then my mind is like, You guys gaslight us all the time. They are forever saying that MAGA, that Republicans, that conservatives, that we're violent because we want the right to arm ourselves. So this is the kind of nonsense you're seeing from the left on social media. You're not seeing anybody go, did we expect anything else different to happen? You guys have been calling him Hitler. You have been literally, for the last 8 years, calling this man Hitler, telling children that he was going to take their rights, that he hates them, right? Brainwashing an entire generation. So if you think about it, Thomas, is he really to blame? I mean, I know he is. He's 20. But he would have started hearing this nonsense at his most vulnerable age, when he was trying to develop who he was as a person. He would have started hearing this propaganda, most likely from his parents and everybody else. So they need to be held responsible. And are we really going to trust the same DOJ that hid the whole story about Hunter Biden's laptop from America? Hid it. The same FBI that finally had to come out and say the Russia collusion stuff was nonsense. We're going to trust them to investigate themselves when it was their Secret Service agents that dropped the ball. Come on, America. We're not stupid. And it's hilarious that July 19th, the Biden, oh my gosh, the laptop nonsense has come out. And guess what they have found? The whole report is available to the American public. Nobody's going to go look at it. We're all worried about Trump being almost assassinated. But it literally proves that Joe Biden was involved in all that stuff with his son. I mean, folks, I don't know about you, but the ignorancy coming from the left, the Democrat Party altogether, is mind-blowing to me. But it's not just them. It's that group of people that believes so heavily in conspiracy theories that they believe this was a fake attempt. Somebody died. And as critical thinking Americans, more of us are going to have to stand up, just like I did the other day. Put them in their place. It's not about money for me. So what? We literally lost 40 subscribers. Now, out of 51,000, is that many? No. But you know what? 40 people decided they would rather believe their insane mess than hear proof and be critical thinkers. That is terrifying, folks. But that's what we're dealing with. You guys, we have got to unite together. We have to row together. If you're not getting our newsletter twice a month, please sign up for that. Donate whatever you can. Just make sure I have your email address. You'll get the newsletter. The next one comes out very, very soon. You want to make sure you're on that list. So God bless you guys. We love y'all so much. Please consider supporting the mission trip, folks. Thousands of you will watch this video. If everybody sent $1, it would make such a difference to another American's life. We have to stick together. We cannot let them put us all on Social Security and disability and in poverty so the world is equal. Fight, folks, but fight the right way. Fight with knowledge and wisdom, but most importantly, love. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with somebody that doesn't know the truth.